Okay, we're going to have a go at this. It's the office block, tower block question. Basically what it's made up of is a series of horizontal lines spaced at 15 mil and 5 mil apart, and a series of vertical lines. Now all of those lines continue the whole way up. So really what this question is doing is it's checking whether we can draw horizontal lines with our t-square and vertical lines with our set square and our t-square together, and it's also checking our measurements. All of these measurements are 10, 10, 10, 10. So that means when it's drawn they should all look the same. The same are 15 and our 5, our 15 and our 5. They should all just look the same as they work their way up. The overall dimensions of this are 230 high, which means it's tight enough on our sheet so we start just above our title block, and it's 150 wide. So I'm going to start stepping off my measurements, create my grid. Everything gets drawn lightly, and then we heavy in the finished picture. So I'm going to start off with this dimension here, which is 230, and I'm going to draw a line across the bottom, across my sheet, where I'm going to start off here, and then I'm going to start stepping off my measurements. So my height is 230, so I just want to make sure that it fits on my sheet, and it barely does. So I'm going to start off with my line across there. Now that line, I'm going to measure up 230, which brings me up to there, and a horizontal line here will give me the top of my tower block. So what I do now is I'm just going to draw a vertical line, and I'm going to start stepping my dimensions out. And just before that, actually, I'm going to come across 15, and that's how far the drawing comes across. So I've just spaced it on the middle of my sheet, and I'm just going to draw a short vertical line there. Now t-square for the horizontal lines, t-square and set square for the vertical lines. So what I'm going to start off doing is I'm going to take the 15 here and divide that up into tens. So 10, 20, little short line, and I'm putting the marks along the line: 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 20, 30, 40. The last one is 150. Now those lines can go up my sheet, and it doesn't matter how far up the sheet they go because you're drawing them lightly. These are construction lines, and I continue those lines all the way across. I'll let you continue that on yourself. Now on this side here, on the vertical line here, I'm going to start off stepping my vertical distances, which will give me my horizontal lines. So I start off with my 15. I'm just going to put them on the line. My 15 and 5. Okay, another 15, another 5, 15 and 5, and I continue that the whole way up. 15, 5, I just make sure that I keep those dimensions even. So 15 and 5, 15 there and 5, and I work those dimensions the whole way up. And just mark your dimensions as lightly as you can, and that goes the whole way up, but it's 5 and 10, and then the last one is 15, no, 15, sorry, and 5, 5 and 10. So there's all my dimensions marked up along the side, and then what I'm going to do is carry those lines across. and they don't have to end exactly at the line. They can continue on a little bit here, because all these lines are drawn lightly. They're construction lines. So what we're going to do in the end is we're going to heavy in all our lines to create the finished picture. So I've transferred all my measurements onto the page, and you can see I've heavied in what the finished picture looks like. So you just need to, I've used a marker just to make it stand out a little bit more on the screen on the webcam. You just need to lean a little bit more on your pencil. So what's important here is that these lines are drawn lightly, and that the heavy lines are the ones that stand out. So there's just a little bit of detail there to be finished at the top. That part there in the top is down 10, which gives you the top part of a sloped line, and then down a further 5 gives you the bottom part of the slope line. So you just need to follow that very carefully off your drawing, and keep checking back to the drawing the whole time to make sure you're doing it right. And that works, it's that kind of little slope detail works its way across there like that. Okay, and just be as careful as you can. Light lines, heavy lines. All my vertical lines are parallel. All my horizontal lines are parallel. Okay, finish off your sheet. Let's call it a tar block. Put the date on it and the name on it, and do your best with that one.